Ringo Starr spent a lifetime smiling for the world, but behind that smile lived a man carrying a wound he never fully confessed. For decades, he harbored private bitterness towards someone who once stood close enough to be family, someone whose choices carved a scar deeper than any insult. And when you hear who it is, it will make you see Ringo in a completely different light. Born Richard Starkey in wartime Liverpool, Ringo's childhood was defined by illness. At 6, peritonitis nearly killed him. At 13, tuberculosis locked him in a sanatorium for 2 years, creating deep insecurity that followed him into the Beatles. On August 16, 1962, Ringo replaced Pete Best. Critics mocked him as the luckiest, least talented Beatle. Producer George Martin didn't trust him, bringing in session drummer Andy White for Love Me Do. The message was clear: needed but not respected. Inside the band, each member wounded him differently. George Harrison's silence hurt unexpectedly. Once Ringo's closest confidant, George built brilliant music with Eric Clapton and Bob Dylan, everyone except Ringo. The worst moment came in 1968 when George invited Clapton to record While My Guitar Gently Weeps instead of his bandmate. John Lennon's transformation with Yoko Ono wounded differently. During one session, Yoko criticized Ringo's drumming, and John coldly told him, "Just keep it even." Ringo confided to friends that it became just John and Yoko, not a band anymore. Paul McCartney's perfectionism created the sharpest conflicts. During the White Album sessions, Paul grew frustrated and sat at Ringo's drum kit himself. Ringo stood up bitterly and said, "You clearly don't need a drummer anymore," then disappeared for 2 weeks. But none of these men were who Ringo truly hated. After Brian Epstein died, Alan Klein appeared promising to fix everything. John, George, and Ringo signed with him in 1969. Klein exploited every fault line inside the band, fueling division. When Paul refused to sign, Klein encouraged the other three to push forward without him. The result was catastrophic: lawsuits, accusations, and the Beatles' collapse in 1970. By 1973, Klein was fired for mismanagement. Years later, George confessed, "The only way the Beatles can get together is if Alan isn't there." But it was too late. For Ringo, Klein was the outsider who exploited their weakest moments and shattered the greatest musical brotherhood of the century. Unlike wounds from his bandmates, this one never healed. Who hurt Ringo most? Share your thoughts below and subscribe to Hollywood Star News for more untold stories about music's greatest legends.